Hello everyone, this is Shining Noctowls, and this afternoon I'd like to share a video that I believe is important to share. I think that this video is important to share because I have been doing a lot of research on my roots as of late. I kind of wanted to understand my ancestry better, and I've actually done some podcasts about it regarding if you guys would like to watch my former videos that I've done. But for this particular video, I wanted to speak about kind of what I've thought about the Irish Pagan School that I have seen on YouTube, hosted by Laura O'Brien and John O'Sullivan. So my thoughts on, well, we each are you know, um, can express our own opinion on, on a variety of things. And for me, when I think about, like, for example, uh, I've actually seen many YouTube channels where, for example, I watched this Norwegian YouTuber called Bjorn Andres Bohansen, and he shares his beliefs on, or, kind of his knowledge on Norse mythology as or folklore as well as a number of other things. And I usually enjoy watching this channel because I also feel like I have some roots that are connected to him as well as, he just kind of feels like a brother or like extended family to me. Because even though the Aesir and the Vanu or the Vanir, fought each other, eventually they learned to coexist. And one thing I appreciate about Bjorn is that we're allowed to have our own opinions, and I think that is something that is important to understand. Now with Laura and John, I enjoy their content. I enjoy what they share. They have great knowledge when it comes to Irish folklore, as well as a lot of the legends. I believe that. However, I do not agree with so-called gatekeeping. When I mean gatekeeping, I'm talking about saying, you know, you can't, you have to do it this way or else. I have a problem with that because, and I've actually gone on Reddit and I've read on how other people have felt about just kind of, um, you know, gonna try to see how I can express this in the best way I can because I feel like it's important to share. But I feel like that when a person tries to gatekeep a culture and say, I am the boss, so to say, I am the boss of this culture, and if you don't do it the way I tell you to do it, then you can't practice this culture. That's a serious problem, actually. I do not agree with that way of thinking, and I believe that it is something that falsely imprisons others to think in a way that is really unhealthy, actually. And I say this because when I connected with the Morrigan, I remember years ago, she's worked with me a lot, but I remember that I was uh, sort of in bondage, really, and and she came to me and she helped me break from those binds and cross the Nile, so to say. And I feel like I have gone to the other side, thankfully enough. And I think one of the best things for me this lifetime was to be born out of Ireland. And why do I say that? I say that because even 700 years ago, there were a lot of my brethren in Ireland that, had that were very close-minded. even when it came to the church. Like if you didn't do things a certain way, you could be put to the sword. And actually, I spoke to someone recently from Yorkshire, from England of all places, and actually, I'm glad I did because, a lot of times, there'll be a lot of Irish people or other people that will want to always point the finger on at the English, and they don't look at themselves in the mirror. And if they don't like to hear that, that's okay, because I think it's important to share this. Because when I went to England a few years ago, several years ago actually, I remember the first thing the flight attendants asked me when I, was on my trip there is, sir, would you like a cup of tea? And they had very nice manners, they had very nice etiquette, and I appreciated that. And when I have spoken to different people from England, for example, I spoke to someone from Yorkshire a couple days ago. He was very kind to me, very, very hospitable, very willing to listen to what I had to say. And I think that really healed me because, if this was 700 years ago, I feel like, there would have been swords and spears, and, I might have been, jailed or, things like that. Thankfully, we don't live in those times anymore. Thank goodness. Um, but I think it's important to change understand that this negative narrative that has been spun about uh, the English are, always going to be these horrible people and they're never going to change. I've seen changes actually, from some of those I have met, from England. And I honestly think the people I've had to deal with more than the English have actually been the Irish, or my own Irish extended family or diaspora, because I am technically part of what they would call the diaspora. And I think that for me, even in America, the US where I live, I've had to heal others with Irish ancestry that I've had to tell them I can't do it like this. I'm sorry. This is not how it works with me. And I'm glad I have because I think that all too often I've realized with some of my Irish extended family, they think that if you don't do as I say, then I'm going to put you to the sword, essentially. It's almost as if they're acting worse than how the English used to act. And I honestly think that it's important to understand that, this is not what being a Gael is really about. I use the word Gael aside from Celts because before the Celts, there were the Miletians, the sons of Neil, who had came to Ireland from northern Spain long ago, and I actually have Spanish heritage as well as ancient Aurelian ancestry that I believe was connected to the Miletians, and I think I even had ancestry connected to some might call it prehistory Ireland, going back around over 5,000 years ago. My lineage traces back to Tyrconnell, to Donegal, Ireland, in the northwest of Ireland in Ulster. And I think that this thing about you have to, you know, you have to practice Irish beliefs in a straitjacket kind of a way. I don't believe that that is a healthy way to go about it. It's as if like Bjorn, I listen to him a lot, and it's as if he said, you can, if you want to follow Norse paganism or heathenry, you have to bow down to Odin in a certain way, or else I'm gonna put you to the sword or spear. This is not how it works. I'm sorry. And even Bjorn said, we don't kneel to our gods. We walk beside them. And I think even that's what the Morrigan, has shown me and others, that you bow down to no one, and this is why I, challenge the Irish pagan school because I don't believe that the way they're instructing others is always completely healthy. And if they don't agree with me, that's okay. They, that's their choice. But I feel like it's important for me to vocalize this because this has been on my mind for a while now, and I just like, for example, like when I watch Bjorn, I don't agree with him on everything. Like, for example, he has his own views on trans people, and I do as well. But that's okay. Like, we're we allow ourselves to not always agree with each other. And honestly, I think he would respect me for that, and I would respect him. Uh, but with Laura, with and well, John, I'm a little bit more okay with, but with Laura, I really have to bring this out because for me, I notice that it's something that you almost have to really, how should I say it? You have to part the binds. You have to part, what no longer serves. And I think it's better to be honest about how you feel because it's better to release that negative energy, release that negative um that negative energy. That's the best way I can say it. And I think that uh when someone tries to put you in a box and say you're only going to do this and you're not going to do anything else, um yeah, we're not going to do it like that. And again, I don't want to discredit her or John, sharing, some, helpful things, about Irish folklore, because I actually have learned a few things from them. I've learned a little bit about Lou. Well, actually, my name is Lewis, so my actual name. And it's funny how it sounds very similar to Lou. Probably has a common origin. But yeah, I names have a powerful message, actually, or powerful. They can have power to them. I think even John did a video about that, about names having power. So now sometimes people call me Luis because, I come from Spanish heritage and, my in Spain, or in France, you might say Louis or Luis. But and my grandma calls me Luis as well, and I'm fine with it because, well, she's my grandma and I love her. So not that I don't love other people, but I usually prefer to be called Louis or Lou, or even some people call me Luigi. That's an Italian way of saying it. But yeah, no, I think it's important to bring this out here because I think that, it's better to be honest because if you're not honest with others and you're not honest with yourself, it's a big problem. It's a big problem. And I think that bringing it out and just kind of saying, hey, like, I don't agree with everything you're saying. And that's okay. We don't have to agree with everything. Actually, that's how you have healthy dialogue with other people is that you say, okay, I agree with you on this, Laura and John, but I don't agree with you on that. And that's okay. I mean, honestly, if we all had to believe in the same thing, I think something would be wrong there. That it's like imagine trying to get everyone to say, okay, we're gonna go to an ice cream shop, and you guys all have to get vanilla. No, I don't just want to get vanilla. I want to get your folks. I want to get chocolate, or I want to get strawberry sherbet, or lemon whatever. That's just, and you just gotta be honest. And if they get upset, well, that's fine. They can get upset. Actually, I remember, I actually, my mom's boyfriend, his last name is Odell. I remember there was a time where when I was living with them where I was late, at the table for for 1 minute, and he just went off his rocker and he started yelling at me, and I said, Scott, I'm sorry, but this is not how it works. And he said, you're a bad person, you're horrible, how could you do this to me? And I said, Scott, we're not going to do it like this. And after a while, he calmed down, and he said, a few weeks later, Lewis, you did the right thing. I'm sorry I acted like that. And I just told him, that happens, we forgive each other, we do what we can to heal each other, but you just, you know, that's just not how it works with me. That's okay. You just be honest and you just get out of the way and that's how you heal. And but yeah, no, I feel better doing this video because I think that all too often, uh, the more I think about Ireland, my other home, and I do want to revisit Ireland one day, I do, and because I have already visited England, and they actually treated me quite well, and I wouldn't mind visiting Scotland or Wales eventually, or maybe even Norway. But no, but this is something that's important for me to kind of heal with because, if I ever go to Ireland again and I ever meet people that are very stuck up, or just or I don't agree with, I think it's important for me to really have the strength to just say, no, I'm sorry. Um, this is not how it works with me. And that's okay. It's like, I think that if something is still part of you, it's still part of you. Like, well, I'm not 100% Irish, and I don't think most people are, to be frank with you. Uh, it is still part of my rainbow. It is still part of who I am. And if someone tells me, oh, you're not Irish because of X, Y, and Z, or because you don't fit this box, I'll just tell them to fuck off because that's not how it works with me. I mean, it's like what they do with Bjorn. It's like, oh, you're not a Viking because you don't have blonde hair. You're not a Viking because you're not, you don't do this certain thing or do whatever. He actually did a video where he actually I'm kind of laughing because I could see him laughing. He painted this caricature of this guy that's yelling. He's just like with like his teeth hanging out. And he literally, I'll even link the video in the comment section. He literally like shot an arrow at the paper. And then he just pulled the arrow out, and that was just like the most satisfying thing like I could have ever have seen. But anyways, like really, like and he's not trying to harm anyone. Like it's like as he says, and I feel the same way. He's actually a Leo, and I have a rising and a Mars in Leo, and I know John is a Leo as well. But it's just, there's a point where these things, they it's better to bring it out than to bottle it in. And I honestly, I feel better. It's like really cathartic for me to share this because I think that it is important to do that work and to do the healing. But and again, everyone has their own way of going about things. Everyone has their own, way about it. Actually, I'm gonna post another link in the comments aside from Bjorn's video. I actually watched this professor named Pat Flannery, and he actually gave some very good seminars about Irish history before the Celts, actually. Um, and I am part Celtic, but I'm also, it really connected with me because he was talking about not only Ireland's history with the Celts and the Normans, but also with the Miletians or the Sons of Meal. And he actually did a video. He talked about Red Hugh O'Donnell was like a samurai, and I actually have some ancestry connected to the indigenous Jomon of Hokkaido because I am part indigenous Native American. Not 100%, but I'm not 100% Irish either. But it is a part of who I am. And you know, Bushido actually is something that uh, you know, for those who don't know, a lot of the samurai who fought in feudal Japan were actually descended predominantly from Ainu people, or in the sense that they weren't just ethnic Japanese or ethnic Yayoi or Kofun people that had come from Northeast Asia or even maybe East or Southeast Asia. These were also people that were connected to the indigenous Jomon people that were Ainu who had lived there for over thousands of years, even tens of thousands. And anyways, I connect a lot with Bushido because one of the first virtues of Bushido is gi. And gi talks about, and I'll even pull it up just to make sure I have it right, because, for me, I do what I can to healthily respect, other cultures, so to speak, in a way that works for me. Let me see if I can pull this up. Give me a sec, guys. Let's see. All right, let me see here. Just give me a moment. All right. So what I like about, and for me, again, this I feel like is like part of my rainbow. So this is why I connect so strongly with it. It talks about be acutely honest throughout your dealings with all people. Believe in justice not from other people but from yourself. To the true warrior, all points of view are deeply considered regarding honesty, justice, and integrity. And so, you know, I think that sovereignty really is by, understanding that, you know, someone can tell you anything. Someone could tell you, I declare you to jump off a cliff, or I declare you to do this or that. But yeah, for me, I think that being able to be strong in who you are and to really understand, um, that you don't have to be shackled by someone else's justice system. I think, whether it's an old church institution that no longer serves, or a methodology or a way of thinking that no longer serves, I think this is part of really breaking out of that prison really. And when I think about the Morrigan, I really see her as my spiritual mother. I really see myself breaking out of that old way of thinking, old way of whether it's the old peer pressure that no longer serves, or even my extended family, to really let go of that energy that just no longer serves. Because I think that it's important to really be strong in yourself and to not let others just try to step all over you. Because that's not who we are, and that's why I think it's so important to have heroic courage, or this is another virtue, Bushido, you. Hiding like a turtle in a shell is not living at all. A true warrior must have heroic courage. It is absolutely risky. It is living life completely, fully, and wonderfully. Heroic courage is not blind, it is intelligent and strong. So it's really having that strength to really continue charging on and to really, um, not give in to, um, negative kind of negative, how should I say it? Just negative ways of going about things. But yeah, no, I think that it's life is a journey, and I feel like that, being born out of Ireland or having the opportunity to be born out of Ireland and to have refuge in this new land I'm in, and for this land to become this new land to become part of who I am now and to heal with the indigenous people of this land, uh, you know, I think it's been so healing for me because, you know, because at first, like, it took time for me to heal with the other indigenous Native Americans around me. But it also took time to even heal the indigenous ancestry within myself. Uh, Not only the Native American side of me, which actually in one of my videos I kind of show all the tribes I'm connected to, from the Patagonians to the Mayans to Quechua to the Kogi and Lakota, or at least tribes connected to them, and so many other tribes. But I think that, again, when someone is trying to yell at you and say you can't be this because blah blah, whatever nonsense. I call it nonsense because after a while that's what it becomes. It's like with Bjorn. It's like, okay, what do I have to be to be a fucking Viking? Do I have to look, you know, it's like just just stop with the nonsense, like, because that's what it becomes. It's if you want people to learn and to, be willing to learn, you have to, or you don't have to, but it might be in your best interest, potentially, depending on how you want to go about it, to at least not have a foot up your ass and not just think, oh, I'm so special and I, I just because the thing is, it's better for me to get this out because really it's better for me to just share it and just so I have met I did meet an Irish person online that he just, I mean, again, he was better later on, but he was like, "Oh, those Americans, they say prairie instead of field." It's like, who the fuck cares? Like, what does it matter if I say prairie instead of field? I mean, you know, I'm here, the English guy from York and other English people, they're treating me like family. And they used to be our enemies, but but I am now technically part English too, from, or have part of that ancestry from my mother's side this lifetime. But actually, my mother and my grandmother have very good manners and etiquette. But anyways, yeah, it's like, you know, like what's the problem here? And then you're like, yeah, you're not Irish and you'll never be Irish. It's like, who the fuck, made you sheriff in town? It's it's like yeah, I don't agree with that. And you know, if they want to pick a fight with me, that's okay. They can do that. I'm fine with it because I am who I am, and I don't care. You know, it's like with Bjorn. It's like, you know, there could be 100 people that say, "Oh, we're gonna fight you if you keep saying you're a Viking. You're a Viking." I'm sure he'd get his Danish axe out and say, "All right, you fucks, you know, come at me," you know, because you just get tired of it. You get tired of the nonsense. You know, you get tired of it. That's it. You get tired of the nonsense, and that's it. Um, it's like you know, it's like that's it. That's it. I mean, my friend from Wales, you know, she's like she sees me as brethren. My Scottish Australian friend sees me as brethren. The English see me as family. And then some of you Irish folks are like, "Oh, you're not family because you don't fit our box, you don't do this," or just get a fucking life, you know. It's like, so what if I do things differently? I mean, I think it's better that I do things differently than to stay in that tiny, you know, enclosed or imprisoned fucking box. Like, really? I that's just not how that's not that I never really felt like that, you know. That's it. It's that simple. It's that's it. I think that it's important for me to bring this out because it's you know, I I think that for far too long there have been Irish people that have both in the U.S. and in you know both some of the diaspora and also in Ireland who have just gone way too far in like gatekeeping what it means to be Irish and or what it means to even be Gaelic. And I think it's uh it's important not to really be be under that false imprisonment and to really and I know there might be some people who may not be the biggest fan of Braveheart, but for me, I enjoyed the film because when he spoke to Robert the Bruce, he said, you know, men don't follow titles, they follow courage. And really being able to freely follow your heart, I think is the best thing a person can do. But I actually also have some Scottish ancestry connected to the Highlanders because, you know, I think that you know, from what I gather, Clan Donahane is actually connected to some of the Irish clans in Donegal. So there's actually a connection to not only Ireland, but also to Scotland as well. But yeah, no, I just think, you know, it's important to follow your heart and to not be in that false imprisonment, as my Uncle Herman likes to tell me. But yeah, no, I feel better. Oh, sorry about that. I think I kind of lost myself in a wee bit of a rant. My bad. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get this out. I feel better sharing this because it's did I oh no, did I get it? Yeah. No, I feel like Bjorn right now because like because no, it's happened to him as well. And no, no, I have it right. But no, I think it's important to really unlock yourself and to really have that key to break anything that no longer serves. And and for me, if someone says you can all only follow this path if you only follow one path, I said I'm sorry, but I don't just follow the Irish pagan path because I am more than just Irish. I am like so many other things. I'm Scottish. I'm probably part Welsh. I'm probably a wee bit of Cornish. Probably a wee bit of, probably even a wee bit of English, Spanish, Italian, Portuguese, healing with the Romans, German, Scandinavian, Norse, Aurelian, which would include Albania, Croatia, Serbia, Montenegro, a lot of the upper Baltic countries, part Greek, part Egyptian, part Berber or Amazigh, uh, indigenous Native American. I already said Spanish and Portuguese, and even even maybe a small percentage of Ethiopian, and maybe a small percentage of sub-Saharan African, and even indigenous indigenous Japanese Jomon. So for me, it's one of those things where I just say no. I'm not going to fit in your nice little neat box because I was never meant to fit in a stereotype. That is not who I am. And I feel a lot better because I really needed to get that out. It helps me, it makes me feel better to get it out of my system and to really be frank and be honest about it, to really be strong in who I am and to not let others try to dictate who I am because I am who I am. And if they don't like it, that's okay because um, we don't have to fit their checkboxes, or at least I choose not to. And I think that's important to not have to fit into a checkbox. It's like on the census, if they ask me, if are you white, black, Hispanic, indigenous, I'm just gonna write rainbow. Or I'd say Gallic rainbow or just rainbow or rainbow warrior because for me I am really just a mixture of like all the tribes or a lot of tribes that have come together. Or as the Lakota say, Mitaku ya Oyasin, we are all related. And I think it's important to really stand by that and to really not give in to any of that negative energy or to allow others to dictate how a for example, you can say deity, you can say god and goddess, you can say whatever, how a spiritual ancestor connects with us. Because, for example, is everyone going to have the same connection, exact same connection to Odin or Thor or Tyr or Freya? Like, are they going to have the same exact connection as Odin or as Bjorn has to them? Probably not. Even John O'Sullivan, and I will give him credit to this. He said in one of his videos in the Irish Pagan School, you know that just because I or Laura have a certain way of how we connect with the Morrigan and the Dagda, don't let that dictate how you connect with them or connect with any other deity. And I agree with him on that, but I need to reiterate this because I know John, he means well from his heart. And I know Laura does too in her own way, but sometimes, you have to set boundaries. And, she can say, well, I'm setting boundaries, and I'm saying, well, you're not the only one who sets boundaries because for me, I also have sovereignty to set boundaries as well. And so and because for me, I've had to do that with other people before, where people have gotten out of control with me, and I've said I'm sorry, I can't do it like that, and I've had to set boundaries with them, like with my mom's boyfriend, and various other people in my life, and that's okay. Actually, that's a healthy thing to do to set boundaries. I mean, really, it's you know, If someone wants to, do their own thing, that's okay. And we don't have to. We don't have to subject ourselves to that negative energy, and we can say no, and that is part of what sovereignty is. And so with that, I will leave it on that, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys found this video healing and cathartic, and at least I did. It helped me a lot. But anyways, guys, I'll be heading off for now. Slongaful, guys. Bye for now. Bye for now.